extrude. We'll kind of just extrude these off of the surface. And then I want to kind of add a little bit more edge hardness here. And so to do that, we can use our Insert Edge Loop tool. Remember to add those edges. Kind of come in, and that'll tighten up the edges in one direction. So you can see that's what that sort of gives us. If you want these to be more square shaped, you can add edge loops along each one of these loops here. We can also add a little bit more detail by kind of coming in and let's select maybe these 3 polygons. Come in and just kind of extrude this off of the surface a little bit. And you can kind of experiment and see what that looks like to just add a little bit more of interesting detail to this. Maybe we want the inside of this to be smooth, but maybe the outside we want to be have a little bit of a harder edge. So we can come in here and just on the outside use our Insert Edge Loop tool, and same thing over here. And then again smooth it, and that way you get this sort of harder edge on the outside, but then it's combined with kind of a smoother edge in the middle, or you can see that. All right, now it's attached these two, so what we can do if we want to go ahead and attach this third one, we can just come up from this middle part, go ahead and let's extrude, and we'll do just a little bit of an offset here. Repeat that, add some thickness. As we bring this up, we can also increase the number of divisions. So increase those divisions to 2. Right now we've got that last polygon selected, so we can go ahead and delete it. And then if we want to add a little bit of shape to this centerpiece, we can go ahead and use those divisions that we just added to add a bit more shape to it. Okay, and we get something like that. You can add a little bit more detail to it, but the main thing is that we have that built. Let's go ahead and take our centerpiece and kind of move it, and we just want it to fit sort of inside this little bit here. So maybe something like that. So we can kind of rotate around. And now we also have an area for our legs to come out because we have this base. And if it's too tall, we can go ahead and select those on the bottom, kind of move it up, and we can modify our geometry however we want. Okay, so just by using a section of a primitive and just thinking about the shape that we want to create, we're able to very quickly build out this, and then we can build out pieces from that there, but it just gives us a nice way to get an already existing sort of curve here. Okay. Now you can see here that this is sort of smooth, where this is being smoothed down. It looks a little bit different than this one. And so, if you take a look in here, we can go ahead and maybe get rid of that polygon that came from the extrude, and we can do the same thing here. And what that is when we extruded out these side pieces, it added that extra polygon up there. So we can go ahead and delete that. Let's take this and delete our history. And we'll freeze our transformations. Okay. And then if we want to group this so that it'll rotate, we'll just call this something like bracket. And then we have our large panel group. We can go ahead and select both of these, and we can just call this something like panel rotate.